Iran fired 111 missiles at one American ship. Not at a base, not at a fleet, one ship. The man who ordered the launch was already writing his victory speech. He should have written an apology instead. It is the summer of 2026, 5 months into a war between Iran and the United States. Iran tried to close the Strait of Hormuz, the waterway that carries 20% of the world's oil. The US Navy disagreed. The instrument of that disagreement sits off Iran's coast, the USS Abraham Lincoln, 100,000 tons of steel with its own zip code. Her jets hit Iranian launch sites every morning, on schedule, like a bus route. Tehran has tried drones. Tehran has tried speeches. Tehran has tried angrier speeches. The carrier is still there. And here is the uncomfortable part. A carrier is the biggest target on the ocean. Missile defense has one brutal rule. The defender has to be perfect every single time. The attacker only needs to be lucky once. It is a fair rule. It is also the last fair thing in this story. One man has built his entire career on it. He is a brigade commander in the IRGC Aerospace Force, Missile Forces. 20 years of drills, tunnels, and transporter trucks. All of it waiting for one phone call, which is either dedication or a very long customer service hold. Tonight, the phone rings. Tehran is done with speeches. The order is simple. Make the carrier leave, or make it sink. The commander smiles. He has done the math. Here is his math. He is not going to fire one missile, or 4. He is going to fire everything. Ballistic missiles that drop down from space, cruise missiles that hug the waves at 50 feet, drones to clutter the sky and film the kill. All timed to arrive in the same window. More than 100 warheads inside 1 hour. Washington will later put the number at 111. No defense on Earth is rated for that. His staff names the plan the Hammer. He allows it. Naming things is the one part of the plan with no failure rate. He is holding an entire roll of lottery tickets. He only needs one winner. Midnight. Tunnel doors open across southern Iran. Transporters roll out under blackout. Crews raise the missiles toward the Gulf. The commander stands in his bunker, watching a wall of screens. He gives the order. The horizon lights up. Wave 1 climbs on pillars of fire. It is the most expensive thing Iran has ever done before breakfast. His officers cheer. He does not. Professionals do not cheer. He simply picks up the phone to Tehran and says, "By sunrise, the Americans will be swimming." For the next 11 minutes, he is the most confident man in the Middle East. Now, to understand what happens next, you need to know what his targeting picture did not show him. The Lincoln is the only carrier in the Gulf of Oman. But a carrier is never just a carrier. Spread across 100 miles of dark water, her escorts are already watching his missiles climb. Aegis destroyers. Their interceptors stacked in vertical tubes like a vending machine for bad ideas. Above them, an E-2 Hawkeye stitches every radar picture into one. Air traffic control, if air traffic control could ruin your week. Remember that rule? The defender has to be perfect every single time? It is about to get a performance review. Wave 1 comes down from space. On the commander's screen, the tracks crawl toward the carrier. 1 track disappears, then 3, then 9. There is no explosion on his display, no debris, no drama. From where he sits, his missiles are not being shot down. They are simply ceasing to exist. He does not know about the SM-3 interceptors waiting above the atmosphere. His missiles reach space. They do not come back. Iran technically has a space program now. It is operated by the US Navy. The commander stays calm. This is why he planned waves. The ballistic missiles were the loud knock at the front door. The cruise missiles are the crowbar at the window. They are skimming the Gulf right now, 50 feet over the water. His drones fly with them, cameras rolling. He leans toward the drone feed. He wants to see the impact live. That feed is his proof and his promotion. The feed goes black. All of them go black. His drone's final transmission is static, which, as reviews go, is honest. Out in the dark, the sea skimmers start dying. SM-6s take the far ones. Sea sparrows catch the ones that slip through. The stubborn ones meet the rolling airframe missiles, layer by layer, like airport security, if airport security worked. On the Lincoln, the last-ditch phalanx gun never wakes up. Nothing ever gets close enough to introduce itself. In the bunker, the commander is recalculating. Some always get through. That is the rule. That is the whole plan. So where are his hits? An operator clears his throat. New contacts on the scope. Small, fast, leaving the carrier. The commander stares. He fired 100 missiles at this ship. And in the middle of his attack, his life's work, his hammer, his masterpiece, the Lincoln is launching aircraft. The morning strike package, rolling off the catapults on time. The United States Navy does not cancel flights for weather. And this morning, Iran is weather. His barrage is not sinking the carrier. It is not even interrupting the carrier's morning. The hour ends. 111 missiles fired. 0 hits. The deck never went quiet. The commander sits in his chair for a long moment. He has 2 options. Option 1, report the truth. Option 2, remember what happens to men who report the truth. He decides quickly. He reports the carrier destroyed. No footage, no proof, just confidence. Confidence got him this far. Within the hour, Iranian state TV runs a computer animation of the Lincoln slipping beneath the waves. It is a beautiful animation. The graphics department clearly got more funding than the drones. This is his mistake. Missing the carrier was bad luck. Claiming the kill was a decision. Because now the United States gets to answer. It does not send a general to a podium. It does not call an emergency press conference. It posts. U.S. Central Command, on a public account, for the entire planet. Iran's IRGC claims to have struck USS Abraham Lincoln with ballistic missiles. Then, one word. Lie. Then, in the tone of a company correcting a 1-star review, the Lincoln was not hit. The missiles launched didn't even come close. The Lincoln continues to launch aircraft. That is the whole response. A fact check. He fired everything his country spent 20 years building, and the United States government community noted him. He thinks that is the bottom. It is not the bottom. The sun comes up, and the sun is the problem. Commercial satellites pass over the Gulf every morning. Not military secrets, the kind anyone with a laptop can pull pictures from. And there she is, the Abraham Lincoln, exactly on station. Wake straight, deck full, jets parked in neat rows like a very angry car dealership. Time stamped, downloadable, free. By lunchtime, the internet has placed the state TV animation side by side with the satellite photo. The animation is still trending, just not for the reason he hoped. The commander is summoned to explain. He prints the satellite photo himself. It feels safer than letting someone else hand it to him. He walks his superiors through it, the hammer, the waves, the lottery tickets. A general asks the only question that matters. 111 missiles. What did we hit? The honest answer is the Gulf of Oman. The commander does not say the honest answer. Somewhere in Tehran, a state TV producer quietly deletes an animation file. Nobody in that room keeps their dignity. It did not even come close. Off the coast, the Lincoln turns into the wind. The next strike package launches, on schedule. Because for the Americans, missiles are not an emergency. 111 missiles teach you one thing about the United States Navy. The defender has to be perfect every single time. Turns out, they can be. That is why you do not do math against a U.S. carrier strike group. The math does not care how confident you are. And neither does the deck crew.